Hello, hi, I'm Visual Wizard, VizWiz, VizWizzy, Vizzy? Definitely not Wizzy. But I'm a 2D effects artist, and I want to create this so that people can learn 2D effects or people can hone their skills for 2D effects, whatever it is, and show you how I like to do things. I'm a 2D effects artist. I like to do 3D modeling, 3D simulation, 3D effects, 3D animation, and other just all forms of art I like to create. But 2D effects is what I mainly do. And I had the opportunity to do 2D effects on stuff like Marvel, What If, some other projects I can't talk about, Looney Tunes, some other projects I can't talk about. And then also I did something for Fortnite, which is kind of cool. So I've learned from a lot of amazing 2D effects animators and animators in general, and then also dissected and looked at how other people, like other scenes from across media. And when I first started this, I realized that there wasn't that much 2D effects elements out there for people to just learn and get into it. There are some, which thank you to you guys for holding it down, but there wasn't that much. So I decided that, you know what, let me teach or help people let people know what 2D effects is and what it's about. And I said, what other way to do it than with lightning? So here we go. Alrighty, so to start, this is what I like to do. We'll just start with my interface. I really like to just make my canvas as big as I can. And this is a time lapse, and I was just talking about the dimensions, making my canvas as big as I can so that I can work in it and I feel like I'm in the drawing working, like the drawing is all around me type of thing. And here I'm just drawing a simple background. I was like, okay, how do I want this to be? Do I want it to be low to the ground with some perspective? Do I want it to be like kind of an upshot? You can see the ground a little bit. And I also like to make a grid so that I could kind of see the center of my canvas. So sometimes it needs to be centered depending on what you're doing. And then I start planning out my what my animation is going to be. So sometimes you can work where it's you just straight ahead it, but then sometimes I also work where I draw a keyframe and I animate up to that keyframe, and then I also animate after that keyframe as well. But in this example, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be, as you can see here, I drew a keyframe. I was just worrying about my perspective and seeing if it looks proper. And then I gonna animate up to that keyframe and then continue afterwards, and kind of go with the flow and see how it goes. I love stars. I love stars as an anticipation of things, so I do a lot of stars, and even in some of my work, you'll see a little stars and stuff like that. And this is how I started it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have the lightning kind of just going up or going down that path, the set path of the keyframe. I do end up changing it later on in the video, and you'll see why. And here I was just talking about how he can kind of have a lightning bolt. There's different type of lightning bolt. You can have it kind of sliding down, where it's almost like it's on a plane and it's just like it's on like a flat rectangle, a plane, and just sliding down. But you can also have it where it's going along a path. I'm kind of doing an in-between where it's sliding down a little bit and then it's also moving along a path, and it kind of adds a fluidity and adds some force to it as well. Now you'll see this little line there right before the actual keyframe of the lightning comes down. I have that anticipation line, and the reason I do that is because it allows me to create anticipation, which allows more force. It gives more impact to the lightning, which is what you want. Especially, it's not some small lightning. This is like, I was imagining Thor or Storm smiting someone. Maybe Thor is smiting Loki, you trickster, or something like that. I don't know. And then And then what you'll notice there is I actually have an in-between frame. So I have my lightning doing whatever, then there's an empty frame, and then I start again. Because lightning can be very erratic, sometimes you can do a little flicker and drastically change the shape, but not too drastically where it seems too out of place, because that helps simulate that erratic nature of lightning. So that's something that's very, very helpful. And then also what you'll see me do sometimes is when you have an action of the lightning, it'll kind of like, I like to have it go into place, like shoot into place, and then kind of hang out for a little bit. As you'll see there, I'll have it shoot in, and then like 3 frames of it hanging, and then it'll either dissipate or it'll do something else. And then here I just had another lightning appear, and instead of having it fully just like go down a set path, I had it kind of dissipate into a key, like into its shape. So it starts as like, I think there's 2-3 frames I have of it being how would you explain it, being particles, and then it forms into the shape and goes down. So that was something a little bit different I did with that one, and I'm still like just looking at perspective, because as I do this, I need to make sure that the stuff that's up at that point at the upper part of my canvas is smaller and thinner, while the stuff that's attacking the bottom point is thicker and bigger, just to emphasize the perspective of where this lightning bolt's coming from. Oh, and the first principle, which is dissipation. We animate particles till the end. Ohana, baby. Ohana means family. Family doesn't get left behind. We don't forget about those particles. We animate them to the end. We just keep doing that. Now, this may vary from project to project, because sometimes it's very simple effects you might be doing. So you don't need to animate a particle going all the way like until it like the death of the particle, as you'll see me do there. But sometimes I've had directors or supervisors say like, no, animate it continuously. Like, I want to see it till it's a little molecule type of thing. So there's different ways of doing it, but I always love animating the particles for a long time after. It adds more life, and I don't know, no particle gets left behind. And we'll get to principle number 2 soon enough. So this time I was actually redoing, I changed my mind, and I want to add more anticipation, make the lightning almost like a snake, and I kept redrawing that shape because I really didn't like it, as you'll hear in the full unedited version. So I added this anticipation, and then I think I have it blink, so there's an empty frame, and then now I'm actually adding an impact frame, as you'll see here. So principle number 2, there is always room for more impact frames. If the whole movie is an impact frame, God bless. I'm telling you right now, I love impact frames. They are beautiful. They are a gift from God. And there can never be too many impact frames. Okay, no, definitely, yeah. There definitely can be. No, I lied. I was just joking. There can never be too much impact frames. They are amazing. So at first I was saying like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna add an impact frame. Then I decided, nah, we doing this. So yeah, I added my impact frame, and I'm gonna add some shading on the ground, just a little bit. But that really helped. They call it impact frame because it really helps to add that impact that you need to show the force of a punch, the force of a kick, of lightning, of some sort of element, whatever it is. Yeah, there it is. And like when I did it, like I didn't have it there, but then once I did it, I said, this feels like home. This feels good. I like this. This is the way. And I'm just refining some of my shapes and stuff with that snake coil before it comes down. And I'm just adding in more particles at this time. And then here, one thing I was really trying to think of is, depending on the angle of the lightning, I was trying to have the way like the impact show the angle of impact is what I'm trying to say. So if the lightning bolt is angled from the left and going down towards the right, I would have the angle of impact be up and to the right. Sometimes I was trying to do that because I guess just physics wise, like that's how it would function. And then here I was just doing more dissipation of the particles. One thing that I've learned, and it's you got to keep it in your mind. Sometimes it's easy to look over, but don't let particles all die at the same time. So as you saw there, I'm pretty sure they all die at the same time, but I'm going to go back in and change it later. Because when they die all at the same time, it's not all the particles didn't start at the same time. You know what I mean? So for instance, when the lightning bolt comes down, as you see in the top right corner, lightning bolt comes down, it wasn't there the whole time and just formed. No, like there was a 1 point, then 2 point, then 3, then 4, then 5. So when they die, it should technically be in that order as well. That's just like a basic rule. Like it's not always going to be like that, of course. But those are just some things to think about, because it looks odd when they all die out, all the particles die out at the same time. It's very easy to overlook. I've done it so many times and I've needed reminders. I've caught myself so many times like, oh crap, I didn't do that. But you did. You did do that. But anyways, and that's the lightning. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful. I hope please leave a comment, like the video or dislike the video. I don't know. But yeah, just let me know if you guys liked it, if you guys want more. Maybe I can add in dust to it. I was just trying to, I guess, teach and help other people who might be wanting to get into this. It's my first time doing something like this. So yeah, please give me some feedback and let me know what else I can help on, or even just the video side of it, like the reviewing side of it and doing this. I will have a full version. If you guys are interested in that, please let me know, like a full unedited version of it where I'm talking throughout it. But yeah, let me know wherever you guys are. Hope you guys have a good night, a good morning, good afternoon, a good evening, and stay blessed. All right, peace.